I want to do it,
Okay.
but
But.
I want to explain something.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Now I don't know where you are spiritually, and so all right, you can tell me no. You stop.
No.
All right,
You
just
keep
stop me if
going.
you can.
You
So,
keep going.
what do you think happens to a person when they die?
If you're living the right life, you're going to heaven.
Okay. What if you're not?
I think you're going to hell.
All right. So would you consider yourself to be a good person?
I think I am.
All right. All right. I'll give you a quick illustration.
Okay.
Say the word top.
Top,
Yeah. Now I say it 3 times.
top.
What do you do at a green light?
Stop.
A green light?
Oh, you go. You got me on guard.
All right.
Go.
Let me tell you why I tell you that. Do you see how easy I deceived you?
Yeah.
Like, the biggest deception in the world is you think you're on your way to heaven. Satan can deceive people over like years and they're thinking they're on their way in.
Absolutely.
If I can deceive you in 1 second, Satan can deceive you over 50, 60, 70 years. So the biggest deception in the world is you think you're on your way to heaven, and then you find out when you get there, you've been tricked.
Wake up and, yeah.
Wouldn't that be the biggest?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so let me give you the good
Horrified.
person test. Let
Yes.
me give you the good person test,
Okay.
see where you at.
Okay.
This is for you to judge yourself, not for me to judge you.
Okay.
It's like going to a doctor to examine if you had some type of, let's say you had a terminally ill disease.
Okay.
The doctor says, you have would you want a cure? If you died in 2 weeks, you was
Okay.
gonna die in 2 weeks. You want the
Okay.
cure, or do you want the examination? Like, do you want the X-ray? Which one would you want first? If he told you was gonna die in 2 weeks,
Do I want the examination?
yeah. Do you want the X-ray for him to prove it, or do you want the cure? Which one would you take first?
I'm going to be honest. Probably the cure.
Well, what if?
But
what
if I didn't have it?
Well, here's the deal, though. But what if you wanted the cure real fast? What if it didn't prove to you that you had a sickness? Because you may just feel just fine.
Right.
So you probably want the X-ray first before you take something you probably don't really need.
This is true.
All right. So let me give you the X-ray real quick of where you're gonna do
Okay.
On eternity.
Okay.
This is not for me to judge you. How many lies have you told in your whole life?
Oh, my God. Many.
All right. Have you ever
Many.
stolen anything?
Never.
You ever cheated on the test and stole answers?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a form of stealing.
Yeah.
All right, Jesus said if you look at someone with lust, you commit adultery in your heart. All right, is anything to do with sex outside of God's design? That may be a personal question. You don't have to answer. But have you ever looked at someone with lust?
My husband.
Well, that don't count.
Before I was married, yes.
All right,
Yes.
me too.
Yes.
Have you ever used God's name as a cuss word?
Yes.
All right, that's called blasphemy. It's very serious. It was considered to be punishable by death in the Old Testament. Did you know that?
I did.
All right.
Yeah.
Have you ever been angry with somebody? You almost felt like you could put some pain on them.
Yeah.
You have any idea what the Bible equates that commandment with? He says if you're angry with someone, you're really a murderer at heart. Because what does somebody feel before they hurt somebody? How does somebody feel before they hurt somebody?
Angry.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the Bible says even when you feel that rage, he says you're guilty of murder. All right?
Okay.
All right, let me give you one more. What letter is in the middle of the word sin? So anytime I do what I want to do instead of what God has told me, that means we violate the first commandment. Like, who did you just obey? Yourself.
Myself.
Who did you worship?
God.
Yourself.
Well,
When
yeah.
you choose to,
If I choose to do that, yes.
right?
Yeah.
And so that's the first commandment. You should not have any other gods before me. All right, so I'm not judging you. I just let you get the X-ray of your soul. So if you would have died and stand before God tonight, and he judged you according to his standard, I think you're a great woman. I think you're nice, but he ain't
Yeah,
gonna judge you
yeah.
based on what
No.
I think. He's gonna judge you
No.
based on what his
What
standard
he
is.
stands for, yeah.
So what do you think you'll spend eternity if today you went out?
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know.
All right. Are you ready for this? Then I'm gonna give you the good news, and I'm gonna let you take my blood.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Who do you think is responsible for killing Jesus?
Judas.
Judas? Man, you own it. All right, who else? All right, make it easy for you.
And the disciples that followed him.
Disciple, all right? All right, I'll make it real easy for you.
Okay.
Why did he go to the cross? For whose sin?
To save our sins.
So who's responsible for putting him there?
We are.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're the reason why he
Yeah.
went. So
Yeah.
think about this. If someone wants to harm somebody in your family that you loved, God forbid take their life by murder, how much good can they do to pay you to walk free?
Nothing.
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 All right, who killed Jesus?
We did.
So how much do you think your good works are going to satisfy God's anger after you killed his son?
I get it.
It's unattainable.
Yeah.
So if you stood
Yeah.
before God in your with your resume, God is going to do what a good judge does. He's going to give you the death penalty because it's like a judge that pays a murderer the death penalty.
Exactly.
So if you did stand before God, he'll give you the wrath you deserve because he's a good judge.
Because he's just.
If he exactly, he's just. If
Yeah.
he let you in, he would be bad because you didn't punish the sin.
That's right.
All right, now you ready for the good news?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, this is what changed my entire life. When I heard this, I never understood it until I heard this. Even though you're guilty, let me give you a parable first, and I'm going to bring this thing to a close.
Okay, you're fine. You're fine.
You good? Okay.
I got
all right.
number time.
All right,
You
watch
good.
this. So here's what happened. Let's just say you were driving and texting,
Okay.
and you wasn't even paying attention. You're trying to get to work on time. Somebody hit and fly over your hood, and you step out of the car, and you're just completely just
Oh, I lose it.
horrified.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even say anything. Police gets there, it's your fault.
Oh, yeah.
They take you and arrest you. Your trial date comes. You stay in jail for a while, and you're standing before this judge that has rage in his eyes,
Oh, yeah.
and he didn't even give you a chance to explain yourself. He
Nothing.
sentences you to the execution chair. You say, wait, what happened? What? I didn't even. And all of a sudden he says, that boy that you hit, that was my 16-year-old son.
Oh, wow.
And so now you have no defense.
Yeah.
So they schedule you to be put in an execution chair, put that electrical bucket on your head, put both arms in, both legs in, and the executioner walks out of the room and says, you have any last words before I flip the switch? What are you going to say?
Ask God to forgive me for my sins.
I heard that. But you know
Absolutely.
But you know, even if you ask for forgiveness, that's not going to pay the
Yeah,
debt.
it doesn't. Exactly. No.
A lot of people are going to do that on the day of judgment.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to say, God, please forgive me.
Because
And
they
God
don't
says,
think that's it.
I can't just let you go after
Yeah.
what you've done. Your
Yeah.
forgiveness doesn't pay for the crime.
Exactly.
All right, now watch this. Here's what happened. All of a sudden, you remember the judge that gave you your appropriate punishment? He comes into the room with a different look in his eyes. He don't have a look of rage.
Okay.
He has a look of compassion. And you're trying to figure out, why is this judge here? And so,
Yeah.
right? All of a sudden, he looks at you and calls his 18-year-old son in the room. This is the brother of the
Okay.
son that you killed. He says, Dad, what do you need? He says, son, do you remember what we talked about? He says, yeah, Dad, I remember what we talked about. He looks over at you and says, Daddy, hand me the keys. So he goes over with the keys and hooks up your chest contraption, your arms, the electrical bucket, and
Everything.
he tells you to stand up, and you stand up kind of confused. Well,
I'm sorry.
no, you good. What he does is his 18-year-old son hugs you and sits down in your place.
Oh, my God.
And he says, Daddy, I'm ready. But Daddy, before you strap me in, is there any other way this can be done? His dad says, no, son, there's no other way. So he straps his 18-year-old son in, his hands are trembling, and you're just sitting in there in complete amazement.
Right.
The judge goes out of the room and says, executioner, step to the side. He puts his hand on the switch and he flips the switch, executing his innocent son for who?
Me.
Yeah. As he's shaking uncontrollably, he says, Father, where are you at? Why have you left me? And then his son says, the last words he says is, it is finished. And he dies. Judge comes back in the room. As soon as he sees his son's body, he falls on his knees and he looks at you and he says, if you would accept what my son has done in this chair, I will let you go. Or if you reject it, the judge is only left to give you what?
The death penalty.
The death penalty. But if you accept it, man, your life is completely, radically changed. Your life will never be the same because if you accepted it, and you can tell it by the way you live. As a matter of fact, you're telling people, you're not going to believe the mercy of this judge. He was executed his son for
Absolutely.
me.
You're going to go speak the word.
He'll be speaking.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm getting at? 2,000 years ago, God loved you so much that he knew that you were not going to be able to be good enough.
Exactly.
So instead of trying to be religious to get to him, instead of you trying to be religious to get to him, he came to you in a relationship.
Yes, he did.
And he took your punishment on that cross. And while he was on that cross, he says, Father, why have you forsaken me? And the last words Jesus said on the cross, it is finished. Meaning he paid all of the debt.
All my debts.
And if you would just accept what he's done on that cross, you don't have to try to work. All you have to do is just accept what he's done.
Yeah.
And he'll forgive every debt you ever committed. And you will stand before God as if you never committed a single sin because he can't punish you. He can legally let you come into heaven because his son has paid your fine. And now you're free to go for all eternity. You messed it up, but he paid the fine for you. That's the whole story of the Bible. When I heard that, I've never been able to stop telling people that story.
And that's crazy.
His blood pays your fine. So this temporary blood may save people temporarily.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But his blood is going to save you for all
Forever.
eternity. That's what it is.
Yep.
What you think? Tell me what you really think.
Maybe. Well, I knew about it before, but it made
Yeah.
you give a different outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So red light says, I don't want to follow Jesus. I can do it myself. Well, you're not going to be able to accomplish it.
Yeah.
Yellow light says, man, if I'm going to give up my life to follow Jesus, let me think about it for a while, which is kind of foolish because you could die today.
Yeah. Any split second.
Any split
Yeah.
second. 150,000 people die every single 24 hours. And green light says, man, I get it now. I understand it. I'm going green. I want to repent and I'm ready to follow Jesus. I mean, I'm taking my trust from myself and I'm putting it on the Savior. Where would you say you at?
I'm gonna have to go green.
You for real, for real?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because you saying this, and I was literally, me and my husband was just talking about this.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Like, what was the, I mean, you don't have to tell me the conversation, but.
It was just like, because
Yeah.
I work a lot, so I don't get a chance to go to church.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah, yeah.
when I am off, I just want to
Okay.
sleep.
Yeah.
I don't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
But I keep telling him, like, God has done so much for us as a couple
Yes,
that
ma'am. How can you not
how can I
sell it
not?
out?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're so sweet.
Yeah, we literally were just talking about this not even
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah. You got kids?
Oh, yeah. They're grown, but I got two.
Yeah.
I have a 30-year-old and I have a
Yes,
18.
ma'am.
And
Yes,
he
ma'am.
has cystic fibrosis, so he needs to have a lung transplant.
Who?
My youngest.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, but God is so good.
He is so
He's
good.
good because
Yeah.
he was able to, we was going to have to move to Florida.
Yes, ma'am.
And God fixed it so we don't have to move to Florida now. I
No,
can
he
stay
is.
right here and do his procedure, and his insurance covered everything. I have to come out of my pocket with anything.
Oh. I am sweet.
That's how I know. That's how I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. I
That
tell
is
you.
real.
Man, I appreciate you letting me
Oh,
share
yeah,
that with you.
yeah, no problem.
You-
Just, I hate I cry.
No, you don't have to. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
The first time I heard this, my whole life was changed. I was crying. I couldn't get over it. I
Yeah,
haven't been
it's,
able to get
it's
over it ever
crazy 'cause
since.
I'm telling you, like, a couple of days ago, like, literally, I just went on my knees. I took a shower, was
Yes,
getting ready to go to
ma'am. Yes,
bed that
ma'am.
night. And I just went on my knees. And I can't even tell you why. I just,
Yeah. Well, God was
that's what I
drawing you.
did. Oh, yeah.
That's what it was.
Because he's done so much. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like, I mean, I have my family here, but
Yes,
it's,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Wait.
I've been through
Yeah.
a lot just the last 2 years with my youngest son, but
Yeah.
it's definitely, he's showing me too much for me not to.
Not to believe. And
Yeah.
not- yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I tell you, do you mind if I pray for you
Oh,
and your
no,
son?
no.
And maybe
No.
what I shared with you, you can take it to your son.
Absolutely.
Because rest assured, if you didn't really understand it all, then he probably doesn't either.
Right.
And so you want him to understand this message as clear as
Oh, yeah,
possible.
yeah.
And no matter what happens in this life, I love the fact that we'll be okay in the next
Oh,
life.
yeah.
He'll be
Oh,
able to
yeah.
run,
No, nothing.
No, nothing.
Yes.
So,
And it's funny that you say that because when the surgeon asked him, what would be the first thing you're going to do when you get your new set of lungs? He
Okay.
said, just take a breath of fresh air. That's literally all he said. 18 years old. 18. I tell people, I'm like, y'all don't realize how blessed y'all. He didn't find out this until he was
no
16.
Way. No way.
He should not even survive to the age of 16. But he's still here. God has a plan for him. Don't know what it is,
As he does.
but he has one for him.